What's going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are going to watch Andor Episode 8 today. John, how's it going?
I'm excited for Rebellion. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, I have watched all of Tales of the Jedi with YouTuber Omni Media, and let me tell you, that stuff progressively just gets more awesome, so keep a lookout for those reactions as well as it's just me an all-nighter of editing tonight. It's well worth it. It's worth it to get it up. Anyway, guys, leave a like. Use the Force to leave that like, and also subscribe, click the notification bell. Get notified for all this Star Wars stuff coming, even though we're only allowed 3 notification bells a day. Full-length reaction watch-alongs where we sync up with your own copy for Andor and whatever else. Available for our Super Sexy Rejects at our Patreon page. Thank you for all the support to everyone who has joined. It really is a major contribution to the channel. Thank you, guys. And let's get to it. We just got to do this.
Right, shoes off, boots, sandals, everything on the floor. Toss it in. Come on, move it, man face, let's go.
Good, they're dedicated to airline safety. Oh. You should put those on roller coasters.
I was planning on calling you in to fill some gaps in the report. We were scheduling that, but now we've both had our mornings interrupted because you keep submitting requests to the Bureau of Standards Data Center looking for Cassian Andor.
Doesn't quit.
You've been at the Bureau of Standards for less than a month, and you've filed 5 false inquiries.
6, actually. Cassian Andor is a murderer and a threat to the Empire. I have been trying, with the limited tools available, to find him.
So this is about public safety?
No. Much more than that. She's your Luthen.
I'm just trying to clear my name.
One would think you'd want to leave Ferrix as far behind as possible.
One would be wrong.
Team up.
Tell me, what's not in Lieutenant Blevins' report that I need to know?
I have no idea. I wasn't allowed to see the report.
You signed it.
I was given no choice.
Yeah, team up.
Come on. Just tell her that you think he's involved with the rebellion.
We should be upstairs by now.
Give him Blevins' report, let him read it, keep him in there.
Of all days.
We have time.
And play Metallica at the top volume.
It's starting to feel like Westworld.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Again, the way this show is shot should not be overlooked.
Big
Look
shell.
how gorgeous this is, guys.
Yeah.
The thief was a local named Cassian Andor. He was wanted for the murder of 2 corporate security officers.
Code droid.
All ready to go, sir. If someone there is talking, we need to be listening.
It's a large investment.
Come on, she's been right so much of the time. Help her out.
Yeah, seriously.
Help out the Empire.
Ferrix was a mistake. It's the first one he's made. Drill down is exactly what I want to do, sir. Drill down, find Andor, and get a hunt started.
Man, Andor was so integral to the hunt for the rebellion.
And now he's in the system.
See, Andor's story is important. What the shit?
Pumps.
I'm sure some, if not all of you, are wondering how we risk standing before you without weapons. It's a potent question.
It's them shoes.
One you won't need to have answered very often, but...
Floors. Electricity.
Ah, that's what the shoes do. Yikes, that looks painful.
Whew. Rubber soles.
Our floors are tungstoid steel. Do your time productively, keep to your lane, and this needn't be more than a memory. Good luck to you. Oh!
This is almost like Face Off.
I solved a double murder and found the killer in 2 days. It was overly ambitious, yes, but time was slipping away and the opportunity was real.
He was good.
You just said it. Can one ever be too aggressive in preserving order?
My man. he knows he's got an opportunity. He knows. He knows he's planted a seed.
Step on there and stop.
I love this. Actual order. You know, one can aspire to form such an organization.
This is Unit 52D.
Andy Serkis.
No way. It's about time.
7 men, each table. My name is Keno Loy. I'm the 52D unit manager.
Snoke's origins.
They only come to pick up the dead and bring their replacements. You're mine now. Off program! Back to work! Listen up.
This is cool.
I have 249 days left of my sentence. I have a free hand in how I run this room. I'm used to seeing my room in the top 3 on the level. You will want to keep that happening. I'm sensing you understand.
He understands you.
Problems with another inmate? I will know before you do. Losing hope, your mind, keep it yourself. Don't ever slow up my line. Table 5.
I would never mess with this guy.
Stakes established.
Watch what I do, exactly what I do. You'll be where I am this time tomorrow, with 7 men. 9 to swing, I'll be feeding the table. So it might be a little different.
He's on the box. They're calling him.
Oh.
What the hell is going on?
As ever, the least productive table will be disciplined.
Come on, boys. Let's go, let's go.
Someone has to really clear up what it is they're doing.
Come on.
Visual learner, Andor.
Keep it going!
Are they building weapons for the Empire?
It's either that or like pieces of transit units or something, yeah.
The new legislation is definitely having an effect.
Well, the rebels might have thought that over before blowing up Aldhani.
Well, good luck feeding the galaxy. I'm off to feed myself. Charity begins at home.
It's a great exchange.
What about the money I've moved already? Not everything's tucked away.
We'll find a way to explain it.
So we've given up on hiding it?
How much are we worrying about?
400,000.
Whew.
What is that in U.S. dollars?
$1 million billion. Subtlety, my guy.
Goddamn. It's like the line at Costco. Are they planning a breakout?
Looks like it.
Dangerous times.
Are they not?
Do you feel under threat?
Personally, here, yes. I'm at great risk of ingesting too much of this nourishing Chandrilan hospitality.
Coruscant pricks.
You see the white lights? It's the floor. White is cold, red is hot. The white lights start flashing, you've got 7 seconds to get to yourself. Sensors in the floor, 2 men in 1 cell. It's an instant fry.
Where were you back when they were building stuff?
This place sucks.
Water, night light, toilet flips down. You've got a plate, spoon, and shaver. The tube. You can get as much as you want. They like us healthy and fueled.
Oh my God.
This place is awesome.
But perhaps in a few shifts, we can pull a winner. A winner gets taste with their food. Top table wins flavor. Last place gets fried.
Wow, this is so awful.
So what did you do?
Nothing.
Not that lately. They doubled everyone's number last month. PORD.
What?
People must be talking about it. About what?
The legislation.
I don't know anything about it. Don't ever look at the number. Double, triple, it doesn't matter.
Hey!
You're in till they don't want you anymore.
Enough!
Get straight with that.
Mousy!
Anyone who thinks they're getting it now is dreaming. Those days are over.
You don't walk in your sleep, do you?
What?
You'll find out.
Tighten up! Hot floor!
At least he's looking out for them.
He's like a stern uncle.
Tighten up!
A diabolical design for this place.
What an efficient way to clean yourself. Ah, Disney, you cowards.
Show some butts.
Light.
3's off 2. There are 18. 4 is struggling.
Right.
Hands away.
Clear. Clear.
Let's go 5.
You're getting fast, Andor.
You okay?
Pin jab.
So, help.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Uh-oh. I'm afraid for this old guy. I'm afraid for Olaf.
You're just taking a breather. Come on, guys. You got a chance of winning the shift today.
What have you done now?
Apparently I'm throwing a party.
I heard the boys had to carry you back here.
Word travels fast.
She fell. She's obsessed with troopers. She fell trying to pry open the Aldrich's floodgate. She wanted to see if the tunnel under the hotel was still open.
That's a good idea.
Where did you go?
Who's the big one?
Reunited.
I've no idea. Where were you? I was about to come looking.
Oh, they're hunting him. That's right.
You think the Empire stops to catch its breath? This is a fight to the death, Vel.
Yeah, stop putting your relationship first, Vel.
I told you up front. The struggle will always come first. We take what's left.
Struggle is real.
The first episode we're cutting around is so many different characters from like,
True
all the episodes.
And true ensemble.
I need to look for something in the back.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. It's been off for a while.
It's urgent.
I feel like this is going to cause some problems.
I don't trust that guy at the back.
There.
Literally catching up with everyone.
We can't.
She could point us in the right direction.
She's asking us.
She knows more than we do. So much more. She might have a lead.
More likely it's the ISB working her radio.
You're guessing.
And you're slipping.
This is why you need each other.
I'm thinking clearly and you're not. Tell me to shut it down.
You're thinking emotionally.
I've just been hiding for too long.
It's all different now. We're going loud. Vulnerability is inevitable.
Shut it down.
Shit. People will suffer.
She took out her lip piercing.
Just saying to say she's a mirror, and then they transition through looking through windows. Some bullshit symbolism.
Could you be any more obvious?
Coordinate alternatives for Segra Milo.
Rerouting Segra Milo.
Oh, don't do it, mate.
I say go for it.
Ooh.
Who is it now?
Take for what? Why won't you tell me? Where are they taking my father? Tell me! Where is he? Where is my father?
Oh shit, I hope you don't snitch.
Move it. Let's go, let's go. Get out of the way. Move it.
That's the guy demanding a position.
Vix Colleen.
Get the Sobeys, run!
Get her!
Oh, dude.
Wow. Cool transition. That dude looks so familiar.
Garrison at Aldani.
Someone comment.
Was that you?
Oh my God!
That's
I think.
Tell me what you've got.
Well, how about a full set of Imperial drive adapters? I also got 3 sealed steer guard targeting deflectors.
At what cost?
Enter Krieger. I'm the one who says we'll die with nothing if we don't put aside our petty differences.
Petty. I am the only one with clarity of purpose.
Oh, careful.
A bit of a luxury, I'd argue, to a man who's hiding in cold caves and begging for spare parts.
No sale today, Luthen. Good luck with Anto Krieger.
Ugh. Enemy of my enemy, dude.
He'll eventually help.
I wanted to see him. What are you doing? Get him out of here. Quickly.
Well played.
Jeez. On a dime.
Hello, Bix.
Torture chair.
Damn.
Fascinating way to end. All right, kick it off, John.
I love this episode. I thought this was great. You know, the introduction to the prison colony alone, or this prison compound, really, and just the ruthless efficiency and the way in which it is so clean and sterile and organized, and yet so cold and sinister, and just the amount of, like, that one shot when he looks down and sees all the different walkways with all the different people. You know, you really get a sense for the vastness, which I think this show is really good at, and I really appreciate that after that whole, you know, thing in sort of the, I don't know if you call it the first, I guess it's like the first couple acts of the show, you know, for him to land out here and for him to, yeah, not flash back to a point in the past where he was vacationing, but to flash, you know, not flash, but, you know, time jump a little bit to here he is on vacation doing not much, and yet still the repercussions of the rebellion have come for him. That one guy says, like, yeah, there's been a lot of that lately, just like people doing not much and then getting thrown into places like this, you know, and it's got to do with, you know, the hit on Aldani and all that stuff. And, yeah, checking in with everybody. It's funny, you know, this is episode 8, so we're technically past the halfway point in the series, but this almost felt like turning the record over and starting side B, because, yeah, you are doing a big check-in with everybody. You're seeing what the board looks like now, and you're also getting this pretty harsh, you know, consequence for Cassian. So I thought this was a really interesting episode overall, and a really nice, again, sort of place setter for what's to come in these last 2 acts of the season, you know. What did you think, sir?
It was really good. It was great. Isn't just like every episode. It's just been consistently really good. I can't complain. I think I like the irony and all the juxtaposition of what this prison lays forward. This false sense of we're not like every other prison. Look at us. We take care of our prisoners. You have food, water, cleanliness. We look after you, but it's also about, like, setting this sort of competition, and there's a underlying insidious ruthlessness that just sort of percolates throughout the entire system. And there's a lot of situations and people, like Andy Serkis's character, whoever he is sort of a, they talk about mirroring in this episode, and it's sort of a mirroring of who Andor could possibly become if he stuck around here long enough. He could morph into this individual. And I loved how there was such an intensity there and such an oppression there, and watching this felt like just so like pure sci-fi. I said at one point this episode kind of reminds me of Westworld, and there is such a Westworld like quality to it. The more it progressed, like while you can kind of go down a path of, all right, well obviously he's not going to stay here. You know he's going to get out in some way, and I liked how, because the show is called Andor, and there's all these different characters. You're cutting around to everyone here, and it's all centering around Andor. Like everyone's mentioning him at least, except for Mon Mothma, but everyone else is mentioning him at least once. And that's the kind of the funny part with what they're doing with Mon Mothma, because while she's working on getting this money to help funnel money around to help fund the rebellion and stuff, she's the one they ought to look out for, and everyone's so focused on Andor. Like the Empire's hunting Andor, Cyril's after Andor, Val and
Cinta.
Yep, are after Andor. Like everyone's looking for Andor, but no one's got their eye on Mon Mothma except for maybe her husband.
Yeah.
And I love that, because it is her working in the shadows, like a lot of these people, but she's working in the shadows, and she can actually have probably the most instrumental part. So it was fun hopping to everyone who's all like, Andor, gotta find Andor, and yet no, you don't really have to worry about Andor. Like he's not really the threat. He's locked up, and he's keeping his mouth shut, So I think the exploring the prison system and the oppression with the show that's already dealt, with the political aspects of like police brutality, and then going in here with dealing with the incarceration system, I think is a fascinating commentary to throw into all of this. And yeah, I loved it, because they try to show you the sense of camaraderie, but really it's not about that. It in some ways they do condition you to be someone who could potentially be a servant for the Empire after it's all said and done.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
the
brilliant.
The breadth of the apparatus of the Empire.
I think it's brilliant, and yeah, a lot of it's just like check up and catch up on with other characters, where you are probably just going to get more plot point advancements. Characters like Bix, who it seems like she's sort of torn between, did she join the rebellion? If she seems like she's in the rebellion in some way, she's already got like a toe dipped in there, and it's probably going to be propelled. Like you're watching stories where it's like, I don't know what's going to happen to the people on Ferrix. Is Andor going to try to return there? But then like everyone he's loved and cared about is dead. Is that going to be the final component piece to him going, I need to join the rebellion? Like what is that final thrust? I just remember there's a line in Rogue One when they are breaking out of the prison with Donnie Yen, Chirrut, and all them, when he is like, this isn't my first time or something like that. So I wonder if this is
an Easter egg. It's this
what
time.
He's referring to.
It's this time.
Could be.
He's
Just
not
popped in
going to
my
be
head
in there
right now.
for 6 years. There's not going to be a 6-year time
No.
jump.
There was actually a really definitive time jump in here. It's the first time they've really defined a time jump, with the 30 days, where you watch how he's slowly withering. And like, there's so many storylines that are happening here. Cyril is a very compelling character as well. You kind of root for all these. There's some of these bad people you kind of root for. Like even oh my God, so many names. I have to keep up with so many Star Wars names in the last 24 hours. Deidre, yes, Deidre. There's times with her where I find myself rooting for her, even though
Yeah.
But then when they do flip it, what was neat about this episode is when they do have the guy from the hotel locked up in the hotel, and then she has Bix about to sit in the chair, the torture interrogation chair. It's the first time, at least in my personal viewing experience, where you do see, oh yeah, she is a villain. She is an antagonist to this. And as much as they flesh her character out, where she seems like the woman in the workspace who's trying to prove herself to all these men, and they're not giving her a fair shake, even when she's in the room trying to tell them, here's what I'm trying to do, and the guy's not really listening, and it needs that guy to step in and be like, no, here's why you should listen to her. And like, oh yeah, now I'll listen to her because he said so. I think I find myself like rooting for her in the workspace, and then now that she's actually in the field and getting shit done, I'm going, oh wait, never mind, you're bad. I forgot about that actually. Yeah,
absolutely.
I get so caught up in the immediacy of what you're experiencing, and I think that's what they do such a good job at doing, is getting you to experience what these characters are experiencing, even with a character like Cyril, who you're like, nah, man, you were wronged. I want you back in the field. You were doing everything right.
Team up with Deidre. Let's do it.
With Deidre, you deserve it.
Yeah.
But once he's out there, I'm like, ah, crap, no, it's Cyril.
No, you're gonna ruin
bad.
this.
You're ruining everything for everyone, Cyril. No.
Yeah.
So it's I like the tug and pull that it does with the audience, because it gets you to understand everyone. Everyone's so human, and even with Mommy Andor, Marva, how, you know, the last time we left off with her, it seemed like, all right, she's going to be a badass, setting up for the rebellion. And while she's trying to do it, she's much older, and you can see that she's not as strong. And the thing that's kind of keeping her alive and keeping her going is just that feeling of hope, when still it feels hopeless, you know, just holding on to the feeling that the rebels are going to show up and plow through here, but they haven't yet. And I think that's what they do such a good job at illustrating, is the harsh pull, the harshness of everything, of the yearning of hope, and praying for things to happen that just won't, because the show's so deliberate and takes its time and lets you simmer in all the ominous qualities it has. So yeah, I thought it was a fascinating episode. Saw Gerrera's here.
That's right. Yeah, he commands the screen for that whole 5 minutes. Like, watching him is such a unique pleasure, because I remember the first time we saw him on screen in that role, some people were like, "Man, he's really gnawing all over the scenery," and he does, but it's so engrossing to watch his little tics and mannerisms, and he does come with this sort of otherworldly, almost crazed quality, and I loved his little architect-style speech of like, I'm not going to work with these people. They're separatists, and these people are you know, a whole bunch of other ists that I'm not going to name off in tandem properly. But like seeing, I love the nuances they cast on both the Empire and the Rebellion, because especially in the Rebellion, I think this episode did two things really nicely and in a really sophisticated fashion. And the first of which is it's easy to think of the Rebellion, especially in context of Star Wars, and think like, okay, you think back to the original movies, and you think back to those coordinated strikes in the X-Wings, and like there's an uplift, and there's something that makes you want to whoop your fist, and it's fun. And here they really zero in on the idea that the Rebellion, while a hopeful thing and a net positive, arguably, for liberty and equity in the galaxy, is also a really harsh sacrifice that is going to scar and maim a lot of people who have good intent. And, you're going to basically, in pursuing this action, you are going to cause a lot of innocent folks who aren't really in the fight pain and grief and suffering. And I think that is something to be reminded of, because, there's no pleasantry of that variety and more. And then with the Saw Gerrera scene, you also get the sense that, like, okay, there are pockets, there are all these different figures who are all kind of commonly united in that they are against what the Empire is doing, and yet they are completely splintered and fractured. And even though you have that appeal of, I am trying to put all these things aside and realize that the only way we're going to make any sort of difference is if we make a coordinated effort, and yet you can also see how the ideology is so important, because it's like, what are you going to replace the Empire with? And so even though you're sitting there going, Saw, man, come on, dude, like, we can't afford to zero in on these squabbles. But I think that line, that word they hang up on, petty, is an interesting one, because to Luthen it is petty, and to Saw it's kind of everything. It's the ideology. It's what will we put in place after this? And I don't want to work with any number of people who don't share my vision of what that equity looks like. And that's just another facet of how difficult any rebellion, revolution situation must be, I would imagine. And I really like that they choose to do that, to show just how harsh and difficult it is from the Hope side, and then also just how sort of, I don't know, like with Nazis back in the day, there's always that thing of like, I was just following orders, I was just, this is what I grew up in, and this is, this is my job. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do. And there's a lot of that within the Empire, obviously, as well. And so, it's like, it's weird to slip and watch the overlapping Venn diagrams as characters, rub up against just crappy paradigms within the social etiquette and hierarchy that really would be universal if they could just see past a few aspects of the ideology. And so it's interesting to have moments where you root for characters like Mira or Cyril because in ways you know that there are, human qualities and things that probably aren't that different. And to me, one of the scariest things about life and one of the most fascinating things is conviction because two people can see the same thing entirely differently and have little to no hope of harmonizing those viewpoints. And I think this show does a really wonderful job illustrating that. And I think this is an episode that exemplifies that verily, so to speak.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, guys, got to get to some editing. But what did you guys think about this episode? Leave your thoughts down below. Go ahead and subscribe and click that bell. Is there any other points you want to make?
Nah, I'm good.
There's no other characters?
I mean, Andy Serkis was fun to see in human, just regular circus form, not as a Snoke or anything like that.
Yeah, it's true.
As Kino, it was a good time.
Yeah, it's true. Did talk about him already, right? Didn't we? Yep. Okay.
Then now we're good.
All right. Okay, we're good right now. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you all soon.